Today it is the Studio Series Gamer Edition Deluxe Class Barricade's turn to get the unboxing and review treatment. What do I think? Stay tuned and find out. The Studio Series Barricade, or Deluxe Class Barricade, Gamer Edition, whatever, however you want to pronounce it, is a good example of a figure that looked better in the box than it actually did out of the box. I am going to talk all about that, but first, as always, if you like what you are watching, which I hope you will, I hope Barricade also enjoys you, like the thought, fuck, why am I talking about him? I don't know. Anyway, if you liked what you're watching, feel free to click on that subscribe button, click on the like and the bell. I have social media. I'm never really on it that much. I also have email. You can drop me a line. All that information is going to be at the bottom of, or in the description, I should say. Anyway, as I said, this figure looked better in the box than he did out of the box, and I'm going to talk all about that right after these commercials from the 1980s.
They do it all the time.
Hello?
Ah, fresh. Cold. It's good, but those women... Hey, don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Horse?
Milk's the cold, the fresh the milk's the one.
The Studio Series Gamer Edition War for Cybertron number 2 Deluxe Class Barricade is a tale of two. It has two sides to it, basically. On the first side, basically the figure looks nice and everything if it's kept in the box and it's never taken out. On the other hand, it's a faithful representation of the source material, that of being the video game. It looks nice in its primary mode, what you see here. It looks nice in the alt mode that you see in the picture. However, it just does not mesh well. There are major problems when it comes to the figure itself. Not so much the character or the model, but the toy itself has a whole shit ton of problems. With that out of the way, let's continue on, shall we? So I originally got this figure back in mid-September 2023, if I remember correctly. Due to work, I've been unable to really get a lot of these videos out, so it's been sitting on the shelf, and I figured now would be a good time to basically talk about this figure. I bought this figure from Amazon at the price of $24.99, and I'll be honest, if I knew then what I know now about the figure, I think that this figure, at the most, with all the problems that it has, this figure is no more than $15.99. With the issue with the feet, which I've made up a whole video I'm gonna share with everybody, but with the issue of the feet, the backpack, which I will openly admit, I also want to go on record and say that I actually, in some of the pictures I took that is not going to be visible here, I'll probably put it on my Instagram or something, but I had the backpack mistransformed, or whatever the correct term is, because the backpack, I left the backpack the way it was when I removed the figure from the box. The backpack the way it is here, that you can't really see it because it's black, it was not in this form, this alignment, this configuration when I got out of the box. So I thought the other way was the default, basically. And I will be honest, I should have looked at the pictures, and I didn't. And that's my fault. That is my fault. I will go on record and say that's my fault. It was not until I was doing the conversion of this figure via MGO316, his Just Transform It video, that I actually learned that I was fucking up the backpack. Anyway, so let's get on with the rest of the show, shall we? So, this figure is deluxe class. It is in the Studio Series line, the Gamer Edition line. I think this was one of the first few that actually came out, thus the number 2. I think the number is in relation to when these figures are released. So like say number 1, whatever it was, and then number 2, this guy could have been like the second one released. I don't know. I don't understand the whole number concept. But there, as of right now, I don't think that there are any other figures that share this mold. So I don't have any real comparison videos. So I'm just showing off the still photos, along with some of the a video of him, primary mode and the alt mode on the turntable. If you can literally get this figure to stand up without it having problems, and that is one of the major problems with the feet, this figure cannot stand up on its own that easily. The figure is a nice, I don't even say it's a nice display piece because of all the issues that it has. If you can get it to stand up without it falling over, hey, congratulations. This figure, I think, is best if it is left in the box. And that is about it. So when we return, it will be with the unboxing, and I'll go through all the contents of what was in the box. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
Is she gonna like it? Oh yes. Is he gonna like it? Oh yes. It's lively yogurt, and you're gonna like it. Yes. Is he gonna like it? Oh yes. Is she gonna like it? Oh yes. It's lively yogurt, and you're gonna like it. Yes.
I keep forgetting to activate the my microphone, so because of that, I was just looking like an idiot. I'm not going to actually cut that part because I caught it pretty quickly. But yeah, so we go. This portion of the video is actually what I think is one of my favorite parts. It's the unboxing. I get to show everybody what came in the box, and I do that via videos or photos. I know people may not like that, but that's just the way it is. Anyway, so when it comes to what's in the box itself, like I said, this figure looks awesome when it's in the box. Not so much with the fucking gaudy paper bands that is across the figure, and the fact that the figure is open, an open box, the box is open, whatever. You know what I fucking mean. It looks nice. It does. But like I said, it's when you start taking it out of the box and you start realizing all the problems that this figure has, then you realize you're kind of in you have a little bit of a problem. So on the front of the box, there is a nice picture of Barricade from, I'm not sure, I think this is just a drawing. I don't think this is actually a pose that was taken from War for Cybertron. I cannot recall, honestly. On the, let's see, what side is this? I think this is the right-hand side. No, left-hand side, as you're looking at the front of the box. We have the, your standard close-up profile gamer or Studio Series number 2. It says Deluxe Class. I know it really doesn't show it. On the right side, as you're looking at the box, where's the left side? I can't fucking recall. I'll be honest, I can't recall. You have it's a zoomed out photo from the previous photo, so basically it's just zoomed out. You have the little Gamer Edition logo above the picture. It's Transformers. I think it says authentic. I would fucking hope that it's authentic because of the fact that we're spending so much money on these things. It better fucking be an authentic. On the back of the box, it takes 15 steps to convert this hot mess into its alt mode, and then 15 steps to convert it back from its alt mode back to primary. On the top of the box, it's your standard, just the title of the item that you're buying. So, Transformers War for Cybertron. In the box, you have the figure, you have its accessory, which is secured to the back, cardboard, not by paper or plastic bands. It's just kind of slid in, like in a little pocket. You have the instruction manual, and then you have, which I never pull out. You have the backdrop, which I never use, along with the standard white piece of paper that nobody gives a flying fuck about. Once you get the figure out of its restraints, it's a nice figure, but you only have one weapon. It's his blaster, and if you have never bought these figures, basically the whole gimmick of this line at that time was the arm can be removed, and you basically put the weapon here. I can actually show you right here since I got the figure. Why am I just talking about it when I can actually show you? You can just remove this guy's arm. Bam! You just amputated his arm forcefully. It's not even a pleasant process. You literally just yanked this poor guy's arm off. If this guy had feelings, he'd probably be screaming in pain right now. So we're going to take the blaster. I know you can't really see it here. Let's get it against a white backdrop or a lighter backdrop. Yeah, let's use my head. My head. Yeah, my head's bald enough. But anyway, you take the fucking blaster and you put it onto his little stump. There you go. You put it on his stump of an arm, and there you go. That's how it looks. You can use my backdrop of my head. Since it's a lighter color, you can actually see it. There you go. So there you have a Barricade with his blaster on his stumpy arm at this point. But yeah, so that's what came in the box. Overall, I understand what they were doing, so I'm not really going to complain that much. I wish there was another accessory like a melee weapon. I think with these Studio Series Gamer Edition, it should be mandatory that they come with one melee weapon and one projectile weapon. But that's just my thought. In the comment section, what do you guys think? Do you think there should be a melee and a projectile weapon? Do you think or do you think one projectile weapon is all these figures need? Let me know what you think.
What sort of man graduates with honors from West Point? A man of leadership, integrity, intelligence. A man like Jim Walwork, Republican governor for New Jersey. Jim's an experienced senator, businessman, family man, and a dedicated conservative. After West Point, he graduated first in his class at the Command and General Staff College. Just like Dwight David Eisenhower. New Jersey's Jim Walwork. Principles, courage, common sense.
Haha, see, I actually remembered to turn on the mic this time. See, you can teach an old dog new tricks. Anyway, when it comes to converting the figure, it was actually pretty easy when I learned what the steps were. I used the, Just Transform It video from MGO316 to actually learn how to convert this figure or transform it, whatever the correct term is. However, due to the length of that video, I'm not actually going to show it here. What I am going to do is I'm going to put into the description of this video the link to that video of me converting the figure. I give my thoughts about everything as I'm converting it. It's a little bit lengthy of a video, so like I said, that's why it's not here, because it would make this unboxing review video even a lot longer, and I don't want that. I like these videos to try to be as short as possible. But overall, like I said, the experience converting it was not that bad at all. I got a couple videos here that you can see. On the turntable, you have him in another pose without the weapon, and then you just have his alt mode with the blaster attached to it. Like, it gives you an idea what you can expect. But when I return, it will be with the review portion of this video, and boy, am I going to be talking a lot about that, so stay tuned and I'll be right back.
Frank Sinatra, tomorrow on the 4:30 movie.
Okay, so it is now time for the review of the Studio Series Gamer Edition Deluxe Class Barricade. And as you can tell, I'm not going to have a very favorable view of this figure just simply due to all the problems that it has. But first, I like to try to break this down into the positives and negatives. Once in a while, I'll have a pet peeve, but there's no real pet peeves. This thing is just a fucking mess. But let's get on with the positives first, though, because I like to try to start off with the positives. The coloring is nice. I will be honest, I look at this figure, and the coloring reminds me so much of the War for Cybertron Barricade that was in the game. So they nailed the coloring down. I love how they have the purple. I know it really doesn't show that well on the camera. I love how they have the purple kind of, in parts of the chest. Kind of shows like how the energon is kind of like flowing through his body. I like that a lot. The Decepticon icon or symbol, although not really visible on camera, it's right here. It's actually a nice size. It's not too huge where it's overpowering everything. It's not too small where you're having to kind of like look at it. It's like, where the fuck is it? It's actually a nice, decent size, and I can respect that. His eyes, although you can't really see, are a nice yellowish color. It's bright enough without it being too overpowering. I think that it would be nice if all these figures had like light piping, but they do not, sadly. They do not have light piping. And you have the grays for the steel. I always imagined Cybertron being kind of like a grayish, a steel colored planet. So I don't really, it isn't like, it really doesn't bother me if they're kind of darker in color like this, because I just do not expect robots to really have to be bright in color. Yeah, they are, we have like Optimus and Bumblebee, but if they're dark like this, it really doesn't bother me that much. But yeah, so there is that. This is also a nice representation of the source material. I actually really like how they were able to get the figure from the game and do a nice representation of that. So I give them a lot of credit for that. But that was the positives. Now it's time for the negatives. And here it is. We have everything else. Everything else is a negative. The issue with the feet. And I'm going to be talking about this pretty quickly. There's issues with the feet. There's issues with the backpack. I'll be honest. Even though it's my fault, I think they should have packed the figure in this, with this conversion, not the way it was. And then this figure has severely stiff shoulders. I mean, to the point I feel like I'm actually going to tear off, or the plastic's going to break due to how tight it is. And I can barely even turn the head, but I'm actually going to talk about that right now. I actually have a video that I'm going to play, and it's about 6 minutes. So here it is. So when it comes to flaws that this figure has, I have a few that I would like to talk about. The first major flaw that this figure has is, I know you can't really see it that well, but the figure really does not have any heel spurs. So if you have this figure at a specific angle, it may stand up. However, if you want to try to do some different poses, he will fall over. And it's also because he's a little bit top heavy on the backpack. In a previous video that you saw when I was converting this figure, I apparently did not have the backpack done correctly, and that was my fault. I do want to say that was my fault. I did not watch the whole Just Transform It video from MGO, so if I watched a full video, I would have saw it. It wasn't until today when I was converting the figure back from alt mode to primary that I realized, oh shit, the backpack actually was not messed up. It was me. That was my fault, because I kind of joked to myself that it looked like a pair of binoculars because there's such a gaping hole. But that was my fault because of the fact that I did not take the time to watch the full video. But if you want to have this guy standing straight up, in a normal pose, it's a crapshoot. You know, a lot of the time these little skirts on the back will catch it. Sometimes if the skirts are flared out, and it'll offer a little bit of stability that way. But if you have the skirts placed against the legs like you should, he falls over. And it's like, really, how could you release a figure with such a backpack, even though it's compressed, it's better than it was? Why not have any real heel spurs? It's fucking flat. I know you can't really see it that well. I originally thought that maybe the part here is supposed to, kind of fold out. No, it doesn't. It's all one molded piece of plastic, and I find it kind of confusing. It's like, why would you give the guy feet like this? Did they not do any sort of QC when it came to that? So like I said, if you have these panels pressed against the back of the legs like you should, depending on everything and how you have him he cannot stand that easily. You kind of have to have him in some real shit poses for him to stand straight up. And that, like I said, that's because of the lack of heel spurs on this figure. Up next, at least for me, oh god, come on, stand up, there it goes. Another issue I have, here, there you go. Another issue I have is the ankle joints are fucking loose on this figure. They give this guy, due to transformation, they give him a pretty decent, ankle tilt, or ankle, whatever you want to call it, ankle tiltage or whatever, for him to lean forward because of transformation. However, it's not firm. So after you go a specific, a specific degree, he will fall over. And let's see, it's about, I think for my guy, it's hard to try to get. That's about as safe as I feel. But it looks like he's hunched over. And there he goes. He starts tipping. So I'm not a fan of that. The feet are a major issue. If it isn't the fact that he fumbles forward, it's the fact that he'll fall backwards unless you have him in, like a kind of like with a wider leg, with his legs being wider spread. But I mean, if you look at it like this, he literally looks like he's hunched over. I know you can't really see it. So if you want to have him, standing straight up, that's a crapshoot, But that's talking about the heel spurs again. I'm talking about the ankles, how they're not strong enough. So basically, you got to. This guy is not, stability-wise, he fucking sucks, to be honest. Up next, is the arms. I like my figures having a little bit of resistance when it comes to the joints. That way, that joints are not loose. They can hold decent poses. I do not like it when it's to the point that when you turn the arm or you rotate the arm, god damn it, when you're rotating the arm like I am, let me get this back on. It feels like you're about to shear off the arm. That's too much in the way of resistance. I do not like that idea that I am, it feels like I'm literally going to tear this guy's arm off because of how tight it is. And the same issue with the head. I think it looks like he's on a ball joint, I think. I can't tell. He moves, the head moves up and down. I know you can't really see it here. And it's so dark, there you go. The head can move up and down. It can't really go side to side at all. And if you want to turn it, it turns. Oh, crap. There goes the backpack. There it goes. If you want to turn the head, at least on my copy. Yeah, let me disengage the backpack. You can turn the head. But it's tight. I'm worried, like I said, I'm worried if I'm going to. Great. Now, can I get this back in? There it goes. I'm worried if I'm going to tear off the head. Just trying to do a simple, left to right turn, and it should not be like that. So those are some of the issues that I have with this figure. One of the issues, like I said, with the backpack, that was totally my fault, and I I do want to say that was my fault. I didn't watch the Just Transform It video completely until today, that is. But overall, like I said, this figure, the flaws this figure has should have been really addressed by Hasbro before this figure was even released to general public. Okay, those are just some of the things I wanted to talk about. Okay, everybody. So as you saw, that there was some severe issues I had with Barricade. Like I said, the ankles are severely lacking when it comes to to resistance to keep this figure, to give it decent poses without it falling over. The shoulders are fucking tight. I'm afraid the plastic is going to literally break off if I try to keep turning the rotating the arms. Same with the head. So that's the one reason I like when I get these figures, I literally just put them on the shelf when I'm done doing these videos. So I'm not really going to worry about things breaking off, but I can imagine if somebody buys this figure and it has the same issues that mine does, and they're going to be playing with it, they're going to be converting it over and over again, the arm is literally, I'm worried that it's going to just break off, Yeah, but so that is it. So when it comes, actually, before I do that, I actually pulled out a couple figures. I do not understand how they, early in the release of the Gamer series, or Gamer Edition, I do not understand how this figure can be this bad, because I also have, here I have with me, Studio Series Gamer Edition Optimus Prime, which I think is the best figure out of this entire line so far. Now, granted, I've only opened up 3 of these figures, so we have Barricade, we have Optimus Prime, and we also have Megatron. And they all have no problems with stability issues. They have no problems with stability issues. They have decent heel spurs. The feet are wide enough to actually hold that weight and everything. However, I do not understand how this guy is this fucked up. I do not understand it. One thing I also did not mention is that this figure, even though the feet can go forward and back, well, back all that far, it can go forward that far, or the feet, it literally has no side-to-side tiltage like what you have with Megatron. Megatron, even though it's very limited, he does have ankle tiltage. And the same with Optimus Prime. He has ankle tiltage. It is 2024, ladies and gentlemen. 2023 when this guy was released. The fact that this figure has no ankle tiltage is a goddamn shame. But let's continue on with the rest of the negatives. This figure had so much potential. It did. This figure had so much potential, and I feel that Hasbro fucking wasted it. They were on a roll with Optimus Prime. They were on a roll with Megatron. And they just seem to have totally fucked up Barricade. I do not understand how they could fuck up Barricade as much as they did. But that is that. So that was my review of the Studio Series Gamer Edition Barricade. Stay tuned, and I will be right back with my final thoughts.
Hurry! Ford and your participating Ford dealers' 10% cash assistance program ends March 21st. Right now, Ford will send you back 10% of the base vehicle sticker price on roomy new 81 Fairmonts, 10% back on hot new Mustangs, 10% back on beautiful new Ford Granadas, and 10% back on 81 Thunderbirds. Ford's 10% cash assistance. Hurry, you must order by March 21st.
Get 10% from Ford.
Forgot to unmute it. I had the mic actually up on the display, but I did not have it unmuted. So I'm sorry. I am very sorry about that. Anyway, if you can forgive me for all my flaws that I've had regarding this video with the issue of the mic and everything, if you like what you're watching, which I hope you are, feel free to leave. You can always click on that subscribe. Feel free to click on that subscribe. I am not here right now. Anyway, feel free to click on that subscribe button, click on the like, click on the bell. I have social media, which I never really use. You can always drop me a line. I have all that information in the description below. With that out of the way, it is now time for the final thoughts. So overall, this figure, like I said, it was $24.99 when I bought it on Amazon. And honestly, this figure is not worth that price point. All the flaws that this figure has does not justify $24.99. And you cannot simply go by looks alone. You can have a fucking $100,000 Ferrari, for example. I don't know if they go that high. It can look fucking nice, but what's under the hood? You may just literally have the shell of the car. Is it worth $100,000? No. It's the entire package that justifies that price. So if I am looking at this thing honestly, and I'm looking at that price, and I'm thinking ankles are shit, no ankle tiltage, the shoulders and the head are fucking tight as hell to try and move. Those are negatives. It does not justify $24.99. It just doesn't. Okay, so with that out of the way, overall, the figure is nice. It's nice to look at in the box. If it's in the box, it's nice. You could take it out of the box and try and get it to stand up on your shelf. That's going to be another fucking problem because of the fact that it does not have decent heel spurs. It actually doesn't even have any real heel spurs at all. This guy has flat feet. They look like clown shoes, to be honest. Is this guy supposed to be seen as a clown? I don't think so. I think this guy's supposed to be a Decepticon. He's a fucking Decepticon warrior. He kills people. Why the fuck did they give him clown feet? Anyway. But yeah, so this figure has a lot of flaws. It's nice in the box. Inside the box, it literally looks like a whole different character, to be honest, or a whole different package. Let's just say that. It's once you get it out of the box and you start looking at it and you start working with it and you realize, oh shit, this thing has fucking problems. But yeah, so it visually it's nice. It's because of the fact that I think that it was a pretty good job that they were able to get this guy so authentic to the source material. I like that. I can give them respect for that. But all the other problems, it does not justify that. Okay, so let's turn this off. And then, as always, something I thought I would start doing recently. Should you buy this figure? I have yes when on clearance, or no. And honestly, I hate to say it, you're going to have to wait till this thing is on clearance. It's probably on clearance now. It's been over a year. If you can find this figure. Now, let me do this. Oh, let me turn this off. Turn this off. And then we'll do this. There we go. Let's move this over. Sorry, guys. Hey, I'm only human. I am only human. You can sue me if you want. Wait, hold on. Wait, no. Come on. There it goes. There you go. I should make up another camera for this angle. But anyway. Or another profile. But anyway. If you can find this figure for $15.99 or less, I would say go ahead, get it. But due to the issues that this figure has, it is not worth the $24.99 price point that it's asking. You cannot simply go on looks and nostalgia to sell a figure for that amount when it has all the problems that it does have. Hold on, is it backwards? No, okay. But yeah, that is about it, ladies and gentlemen. That was my unboxing and review of the Transformers Studio Series Gamer Edition War for Cybertron. Yeah, just War for Cybertron. Now, I was going to say Siege, but it's just War for Cybertron Deluxe Class Barricade. I hope you liked what you watched. And until next time, my name is Jeff, a.k.a. GCurse, wishing you all a great day. Stay safe, everybody. Peace out.